Hello students, good morning everyone. I hope you all well in this quarantine period. So here we are going to start we are going to continue with the same chapter, that is matter. So open your book, chemistry book, so that we can start. This is the second part of your video. In the first part we have discussed about what matter is, how it exists in nature, and what are the three states of matter, right? So from there we are going to start the discussion and we are going to start the chapter. So please open your book. So far we have discussed that matter is something that occupies and possesses mass. So you can see here, what is matter? Anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. Correct? See the arrangement of the particles in solid, liquid and gas, which is showing in the slide. See the arrangements of the particles. Yes, this is solid, liquid and this is gas. So next, let's move to the next slide. We have discussed that there are three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gases. See, there are various materials which are around us. These are the examples of that, right? So see the examples of solids: hat, pencil, skateboard. These are around you only, these materials are around you. Yes, table, snow, bicycle, apple, computer. These are the solid things which you see around you. Then liquids: milk, then drink, hot chocolate, juice. It's like this. These are the states of matter. Then you see gases: air, wind, steam, fog. These are the examples of gases. So there are three states of matter: solid, liquids and gases, and you come across these things daily. Correct? Yes. So let's move to our next topic. Next things, this is the states of matter: solid, liquid and gas. And here these are the arrangement of particles of the three states of matter. This is the arrangement of particles in solid state. This is the arrangement of particles in liquid state. And this is the arrangement of particles in gaseous state. Now let's discuss about the properties of solid, liquid and gases, which we have already discussed in the first part also, and in this video also some small ideas I have given you. So you see, what are the properties of these three states of matter? So every time when you are relating this, you just try to relate with water. Why? Because water exists in all the three states of matter. Like as ice, it exists solid, ice is solid, water as liquid and air or wind as gases, right? So yes, water vapor and it exists as gases. So now you see the first property, that is mass. Solid has definite mass, right? Liquid also has definite mass and gases also has definite mass. Let's move to the shape. Solid has definite shape, correct? Ice, if you place ice in container, what happen? It will take the shape of container? No, it has a definite space. Then liquid, you see liquid acquires the shape of the container, correct? In the first part we have discussed this in a detailed manner, right? I hope you remember. Then in gases acquires the shape of the container. It's also true. Then you see the volume. Solid have definite volume. Liquid also definite volume, correct? Remember, liquid doesn't have definite shape, but it has definite volume. Then see gas. Yes, it has indefinite volume, correct? Now you see compressibility. Compressibility, this is not possible, right? Because the arrangement of particles, it is closely packed in solid. Then in liquid, the particles are slightly loose, no? So that is why it is almost negligible. Means you can compress but not that much extent. But in gases, we all know that the particles are far away from each other, right? So that is why we can compress it easily. That is why it is highly compressible. Okay, now I want to show you this one, like shape and volume of solid, liquid and gas, which we have discussed in this slide. The first three topics: mass, shape and volume. You see here in this slide. Yes. So you can see that solid, it holds the shape. See, if I keep solid in one container, see the shape, we can easily see the shape of the solid. So it holds shape and it has fixed volume. In liquid, see, shape of it will take the shape of container. It has a free surface and it has fixed volume, correct? Then in gases, if you fill gas in a container, it will take the shape of the container, right? So shape of container it will take and volume of container. Is it true? Okay. Then one more slide. Let's see. See the texture. Texture we have discussed here. No, na? So let's discuss about the texture. Texture means what? Texture means we can say that how the surface looks like. Means how you can describe the surface. See the examples of texture. How rough it is or how smooth, sharp, soft, hard or bumpy. These are the examples of texture. So what is the texture of solid? Texture means what? Rigidity, no? Yes. So what is the texture of solid? So it is highly rigid. Then liquid, it is less rigid, and gases not rigid. Correct? Now what is compressibility? Compressibility means a measure of how much the volume of matter decreases under pressure. Means what? Like if you compress something, see in these two examples, if you are compressing a gas, what happened? The particles, the intermolecular space is higher in the first figure. In this figure it is higher. So if you compress it, what happened? The intermolecular space comes closer. In the second video you can see if you can compress it. So this is possible in gas only because the intermolecular space is higher in gases. So that is why we can compress gas easily. In liquid you can compress but not to that much extent, correct? So the compressibility, I hope you understand. What do you mean by what do you mean by compressibility? So a measure of how much the volume of matter decreases under pressure, we can call it compressibility. Now you tell, in solid can we compress it? So no, it is not possible. Why? Because the intermolecular forces are strong and intermolecular spaces are not available, right? Because it is most closely packed. That is why. In liquid it is almost negligible, and in gases it is highly compressible. Why? Because intermolecular spaces are enough, right? Means it is least closely packed. That is why. Now what is intermolecular force? Yes, the force between molecules, the force between molecules, we call it intermolecular force. Okay, so now see the three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas, in which it is stronger. So yes, in solid you see the spaces, the forces, in solid you see the forces are strong, the molecules are closely packed. What it means? The intermolecular forces are strong. So yes, see here it is written particles highly attracted to each other means stronger intermolecular force. Correct. Now in liquid, slightly less than solid. Then in gaseous you see particles weakly attracted to each other That means it has weaker intermolecular forces, right? So the state of a substance at room temperature depends on the strength of its intermolecular force of attraction. Okay. Now you see intermolecular space. Intermolecular space is the space between two molecules. Okay. So you see in which it is higher intermolecular space. In gases, right? In gases it has higher intermolecular space than liquid and then in solid, right? So now let's discuss about space between particles, that means intermolecular space. So in solid it is most closely packed, in liquid less closely packed, and in gases least closely packed, right? Then interparticle force you see, in solid it has strongest interparticle force, in liquid slightly weaker than in solids, and in gases almost negligible, right? So I hope you understood that what are the properties of solids, liquids and gases. This is the end of the second part of the video. So we will meet soon in the third video. Okay, thank you.